For the latest film interviews, reviews, and everything making news in pop culture, subscribe to Film Companion now.
I think I've been preparing to play Rani for 21 years. You know, yeah, just kind of garnering and gathering the life experiences, kind of winning, losing, falling apart, unraveling, putting myself back in together, and yeah, so that was my preparation.
I just feel like women are judged so much. If you really explore a character intimately, there are so many things that sort of emerge, and I like being very close to the characters, which means that I am going to explore their full beings, including what's happening in their sex lives.
The dance part, all of us, all the Begums helped me. So I was like, dialogues तो मैं कर लूँगी यार, तो यहाँ पे उनके dialogue scene हो रहे हैं, I'm dancing there, you know. So everyone is like, what are you doing? Because the next day I have to dance. So I'm like, they are rehearsing their dialogues and I'm like doing this and that. And then Pooja is looking at him. She's like, what's happening, Amrita? So I'm like, no, nothing, you do your dialogues.
Such a pleasure to have all of you on Film Companion. Congratulations on Bombay Begums. You know what I really like about the show is that all the women are so wonderfully imperfect. They're struggling with so many things. They're dealing with so many things, and these are the things women deal with. You know, this is sort of life for all of us. And Pooja, I wanna begin with you because Rani is at the center of the show, and she, you know, she's such a fascinating character who does a few pretty awful things as well. You know, she makes some you know, some awful compromises, and I was just wondering, did you and Alankrita ever have a conversation about her likability factor? Did you, the two of you, ever stop to say, okay, how far can we push her, how far can we take this?
Well, I think at our first meeting, first of all, I must say I was pretty kind of taken aback that I actually received an email saying that, you know, we'd like you to be part of Bombay Begums, and the title fascinated me, and we'd like you to play Rani, and here's the script. And as you know, that's a rarity in this business. And then, of course, I'd seen Lipstick and I'd loved it. And when I read what they'd sent me, I said, hey, this is something that I'd be quite foolish to say no to, because this is life banging on my door and offering me something that's so unique and special. And playing exactly that. I mean, you know, a character who is perfectly imperfect alongside other women who have their huge complexities. And for me, dealing with situations and dealing with something as real and as is unavoidable as aging, for example, being able to play your age, being able to deal with menopause. And these are things that you don't really touch upon. I mean, somehow we want women to be frozen in time, especially in our memories, because if our icons and our favorites kind of age, then somewhere our memories are aging as well. But I think the first meeting with Alankrita was interesting because she was there early, as she's always prone to be. And I think we spoke about a little detail, which is so telling of Rani, where she said, you know, Rani, no matter what she's achieved in life, she washes her own underwear.
You know, you bring that up, and I was like, only a female director would have that scene, because only she would know that, yes, many of us still wash our own underwear.
Yeah. So I was like,
that
so
was a
she said,
lovely
yeah,
touch.
no matter what you achieve, you kind of somewhere would never kind of, you know, pass that on to your help, or especially, I mean, be as, you know, unheld back as a man is to probably put his boxers or his briefs into the kind of, you know, just put it out there to the laundry. And that remained with me. And also, I think what struck me was what she said about no matter what she's achieved, is that she's so desperate for acceptance from these children who are not really hers. And she wants to kind of somewhere take the place of that ex-wife. And she has won on so many levels, but yet she's kind of cut down to size and made to feel so insignificant by her very own. So I think it was that combination of great power, great strength, and great vulnerability that got to me. And I think that beyond that, like Shauna earlier explained to somebody, I think the writing in itself was self-explanatory. I mean, the world was very beautifully etched out, not only the external world, but also the internal world. And I think that this series of workshops that Alankrita got us to do, where we all were thrown into the room together, and all we did was not conventional reading, but we just laid ourselves bare And that became a kind of a trust exercise in a way that I've never experienced in 30 years of being in this business. And to know that you've kind of walked into a room and been emotionally naked before the cameras even rolled and exposed yourself to the other for what you really are and not feel any iota of being judged, you feel you're home, you know?
But
And
what does that mean, Pooja, when you say lay yourself bare, meaning all of you were doing workshops and talking about your own life experiences and not
no,
sort
I
of
mean,
specifically talking to the script?
we did 2 days of workshops and we just sat there and I remember this message from Alankita, but she said, okay, today's exercise is that you got to reach into your memory bank and you got to pull out an event or many events that has traumatized you, the most painful aspect of your life. And I'm like, oh no, Alankita, just when you've managed to kind of, come to terms with your frailties and you've kind of buried that pain, you want me to dig it out and take that pitchfork and go chuck, 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 chuck. And she's like, yes, that's exactly what I want you to do in her calm way. And that's what we did. We just laid it out and we knew each other more. And we kind of, there was an empathy that didn't have to be forced. And it was all good from there. But like I said, I think I've been preparing to play Rani for 21 years. Yeah, just kind of garnering and gathering the life experiences, kind of winning, losing, falling, falling apart, unraveling, putting myself back in together, and yeah, so that was my preparation.
Alankita, I think of you as sort of Hindi cinema's foremost chronicler of the lives of women. All of your work keeps kind of going into this question of what do women want, what are their deepest desires, and you're constantly going into places that normally people don't want to go to. They don't want to go into menopause, right? I'm not sure when was the last time I saw a female character drying her underarm in a bathroom in that, in the dryer where you dry your hands, because she's just so sweaty and she's getting hot flashes. And these are things that we normally don't see on screen. Tell me, when you are writing a show like this, which deals with everything, which, I mean, you start, you have a character who's just hitting puberty, who's just starting to menstruate, and you have one character who's going through menopause, and there's Me Too, and there's 50 other things. There's career, there's husbands, there's relationships, there's adultery. How do you balance between the personal and the political?
I guess because I feel the personal is political and the political is personal, that I don't think about the balancing act. I think that who I am as a person and what my thoughts are, I feel somehow seeps into my work and like in the creation of kind of the world and the characters. So I think that it's not separate for me. So I feel like a personal struggle somewhere reflects. I mean, because I do feel like the like the struggle for female empowerment is a political struggle and it's also a personal struggle. So, and I just feel like there is no sort of separation, and the kind of struggles over, the primary site of female conflict, which I feel is the body. It's so personal and yet it's so political as well. So I feel like for me, it's really one in a certain sense. And so I guess I'm not thinking so much about balance. I really go more by instinct, that I feel I want to just dig into these characters and try to figure out where they are in that world. And I guess the world is also sort of important to me. And then make sure that I feel like for me, it's important for these characters to always have some sort of graph. Where we begin with them is not where we end with them. And they discover something about themselves. I think that for me is the most important thing, that, many things might happen externally, but eventually all the external things happen for the characters to find something internal. And even if whether there's an external resolution or not, there will always be an internal resolution. So in a sense, I think all my female characters are always going through some kind of coming of age process.
Yeah, it's not just Shai, it's also the rest of them.
Yeah.
One of the characters really struggling with her body is, of course, Fatima, Shahana, your character. It's I think what you're doing in the streaming space with A Suitable Boy, now with Bombay Begums, is just such interesting, such strong work. Do you feel like you're finally getting the breath that you want as an actor?
Well, thank you firstly for appreciating the work that's
No,
coming, and I
really.
appreciate it for coming my way. But I think it's funny because when I look at my career from where I stand, I'm actually grateful for each and everything that's come and that has not come as well, because I feel like um, as an actor, it's also important to be able to have breathing room to recognize what it is that you want. A bit like Fatima, what is it that you want, or all the characters? And for that, you have to have moments of silence, some things that you say no to without knowing what you want to say yes to. Sometimes thinking you know what you want to say yes to, but when it comes your way, maybe not wanting to do it. So I think I went through various things. There was a bit of a sabbatical from, let's say, the Indian screens and audiences, but I was doing small independent films in international festivals and traveling with that and growing in a different way. So I think, and also then just living life. I think living life was something that also became important to me at some point, where I felt like if I don't grow as a soul, as a mind, as a journey of a person, as a woman, what am I bringing? What am I bringing as a character, as an actor, as an artist? So all that has kind of helped. And what I feel really grateful for is the fact that I think the one thing that I always wanted from my career was that people recognize me for what I do, which is the acting, and that came very early in my career and has sustained me through my sabbaticals, through my absence as well, and beautifully enough has allowed for these kind of parts to come to me despite a sabbatical. I was talking about this earlier, that even this part, when I auditioned for it, the first thought in my head was this is not going to happen because there are 10 other women who are great actors and more viable right now, and it makes much more business sense for the channel, for the directors, for everybody else to go that in that direction. And I don't begrudge that reality because I understand that's how the business is. But I am grateful to Alankrita, to Netflix, to whoever has made it possible, for Shruti who thought of me, and for it to come together and then for it to become a reality despite all that. And I think my entire career has kind of been despite everything. The 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 world around me has given me opportunities, So yeah, I think I feel very grateful for that, and I'm really excited that all the things that have come with this OTT platform, the being able to develop characters, for me it's an excitement of even watching all of us. All when I saw the series, it's the fact that you're watching something where you forget that you know these people personally because you actually start watching the characters.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of the of allowing a space where people like Alankrita can write characters that can then be fleshed out by amazing actors who are correct for that part, who bring justice to that part and make it a real experience for the viewer, including us.
I want to talk a little bit about casting all of them. Why Plabata for Aisha? Why Adhya for Shai? Shana says 10 other women were doing this. Why Pooja? Oh my God, and it's so perfect. When you see Pooja, I was like, damn, like we missed her. you know, how did you arrive on these actors?
I must say I have to give credit to my casting director Shruti Mahajan for we really worked together to actually find the cast, all five of them. I've always really loved Pooja since I was very young and in school, and I keep telling I have seen Dil Hai Ki Manta Nahi 21 times. I just she was so ahead of her times, and I identified
Absolutely.
so much with her feistiness, and she was so real. So I think when we were thinking about Rani, we really, I really wanted somebody who had a combination of strength and vulnerability, like very spirited and yet very like strong, and somehow Pooja just seemed to be the right person, and we really didn't know whether she's going to say yes or not. But I think I really go by instinct, and it just felt really, really right. And I think with Adhya, that's Shai, we auditioned lots and lots of people, but there was something about Adhya. Hers was one of the early auditions. I just felt she had that quietness that she could project the quietness that I needed for Shai, because I feel Shai is a character who's just like lots of things are going on in her head. And so I wanted someone who had that, that she's so unsure of herself, and yet there is such a certainty about who she is. So that was for Adhya. For Shahana, it was, and I've known Shahana for years, and we've hung out together socially and all of that. And then after a long time, we actually spent like quality time together at one film festival. And I remember feeling that was the time that she was living in Paris. And I was just feeling like she's so full of life. She's so vivacious. Like, I think that really hit me. So when Shruti told me that, when we were discussing the casting and Shahana's name came up, I was so excited. And when we saw her test, it was like immediate. I was like, she is Fatima. And Plabita, again, I think for Aisha also, we tested a lot of people, but Plabita's test was, like that thing of she doesn't know who she is. I think that's what I really liked about how Plabita's test was. And I feel she has that kind of thing. You can't be sure of her because she's not sure of herself. That's the kind of feeling that I wanted. And I really felt that she has that. You can't quite predict, what's going to happen, what she's thinking. And Amrita, I really think we type again, we cast against type, in the sense that when Shruti first suggested that she's like, I've got a great idea for Lily. And she said, Amrita. I was like, I love Amrita, but I'm not sure. But, her test was fantastic. So again, I feel like for all these people, like the moment I saw the first test, it was like, there was no second thought after that. It was, like, let's go with them. And I had very supportive producers in Churn Entertainment. They were very good about whatever, and Netflix as well, about, who I wanted to cast and all of that. So luckily, like, it was like a great space that way.
I want to talk a little bit about Lily as well. And Amrita is such a fantastic actor, right? And but this is a tough part. She is crass. She is a hustler. She is a sex worker. But you give her so much humanity. How did you find the tonality for this character?
Yeah, it was tough, as you rightly said, because I have seen prostitutes and some bar dancers played in certain way also. So, but Alankrita, the way she had written the role, in the audition, I did this first scene where Lily is talking about her experience of being a bar dancer. At the same time, she's making Ayesha understand something inside her which she is also afraid of facing, about her sexuality. And then I found her so interesting, Lily's character, that she can be so deep, at the same time she's what she is. So it was an interesting combination of all these things. So that made it very challenging. And the most interesting part was I met Reshma Appa, who herself is a bar dancer. Alankrita made me meet her. I went to Kamatipur, and I spent one day with her. And then she gave me, because this dance part was also, this space was new to me, the way she would dance. And also the way, the first introduction scene, the way she would deal with her profession is like, because as Amrita, that place was very alien to me. The way she's handling her customers, she's very used to it. So I was concerned that I should not look inhibited in any sense, because that would just kill the character. But then I think Alankrita's writing, her being on set, being with me, helped me to find also the external nitty-gritties of Lily, at the same time her internal vulnerability, because that was something really new and tough for me. So that, I think, Alankrita helped me to be one with. And the dance part, all of us, all the Begums helped me. So I was like, dialogues तो मैं कर लूँगी यार, तो यहाँ पे उनके dialogue scene हो रहे हैं, and I'm dancing there, So everyone is like, what are you doing? Because the next day I have to dance. So I'm like, they are rehearsing their dialogues, and I'm like doing this and that. And then Pooja is looking at him. She's like, what's happening, Amrita? So I'm like, no, nothing, you do your dialogues.
Tell me, I want to hear about these workshops. Plabita and Adhya, what did you reveal about yourselves in these Bare All workshops?
Oh, we cried a lot. At least
Yeah,
I did. I did. All of
we
us
can't
did.
tell you why.
We can't tell you why. That's just gonna stay amongst us. Like just the Begums would know.
But I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think a very simple exercise besides the talking about, the most painful aspects of our life, I think where Alankrita paired us in terms of, where, for example, Plabita's character Aisha and Lily had to do a lot of interaction, and me and Fatima had to do, Rani and Fatima had to do it. And she just paired us and we just sat in front of each other, cross-legged, and she played this amazingly inspiring music. And all we had to do was just stare into each other's eyes. And we don't really do that enough. I mean, we're thrown into each other's arms, or we face each other in a commercial framework perhaps 10 minutes before we actually shoot together. And it's all about defenses. It's not about breaking down those defenses. And just looking into somebody's eyes, it just reveals so much that you didn't even know existed. So just simple things that went such a long way. And now, Plabita, I'm sorry to have taken your question. But
So actually, we cried a lot in that exercise. I mean, at least Amrita and I were like in tears. So it was really nice. The workshops were really nice, and the great thing was, like Pooja already said, it's not like we were doing our lines or our scenes and learning. But we had this workshop where there were 2 days of workshops with the Begums where we all got to know each other, and already like a lot of like a good bond was formed at the workshop itself. And then we had our own workshops where there was one of the days when it was my solo workshop. I had to write down characteristics of Aisha and characteristics of Plabita. That's when I also realized how different we are. So yeah, these workshops really helped, of course, and they really did, and I'm sure they're going to help me even in my future projects.
Adya, what about you?
So I did have solo workshops, and I did have with Pooja ma'am as well, with Neil, who's playing my brother, and Danish sir, who's playing my dad. So we had this family scene where it's that controversial moment, and this girl just comes in. She doesn't know what's going on. So I had to put myself into that character where I don't know what's going on. But technically, I know what's going on. I have to feel that I don't know what's going on and react to that. So it was hard for me to not understand and then react based upon that. But I did connect with them, and we did form a bond. And as what Plabita said, it helped us in many ways. I mean, it was really good because it molded me into that character.
Yeah. I also found it interesting that all of the older women, of course, not you, not your character, Adya, but the other 4 women had, had sort of very active sex lives. And I love that Lily, who is a sex worker, also gets a moment of tenderness with her lover, where she's just in bed and she's laughing, and it's not all about making money, or it's not all about a hustle. And I'd like to just speak about why that is important, to sort of establish that these 4 women are, and Shai's just on the onset of becoming a sexual being, but the other 4 are, and they make choices which might be stupid, but they are all actively choosing to be sexual beings.
Yeah, I think it stems from the fact that I just feel like women are judged so much.
Yeah.
That I feel that it's interesting for me to go into the real lives of, like, I feel if you really explore a character intimately, there are so many things that sort of emerge, and I like being very close to the characters, which means that I am going to explore their full beings, including what's happening in their sex lives. So I think for me it's that, and I think that because the body is like so important in this show, in as a sort of subtext, like what Rani's going through vis-a-vis menopause, and the idea of menopause that after that you're somehow less desirable sexually, or your own libido is going down. I just feel the kind of hogwash women are sort of fed that, also I think Lily's relationship with her body is so interesting. Because the need arises, she's using her body as a tool, whether as a dancer or as a sex worker, but her body is also her own for her own sort of fulfillment. And I think Fatima's relationship with her body is also very complex, because she's having this entire thing about feeling like her body is not productive because of the series of miscarriages and all of that. And then somehow her relationship with her husband starts to get mixed up with that whole thing about what she feels about that body, and a lover makes her just her body feel like it's fine, it's okay. So I think, like, I just wanted to explore all of those things, which is why and I think for Aisha it's the greatest there's a huge conflict as well, because her sexuality, she's still kind of figuring it out, and then there's an assault on her body as well. So I think, and then what that kind of does to you, and I think that no story of a woman is complete without really exploring what's going on inside of her, because of the kind of world we live in and the kind of norms that have sort of set in. So I think that's the reason that it is an exploration, and that's why Shai's drawings for me are so important, because the way Shai sees the world, and we worked really hard on on those drawings, that they reflect a different reality of women. So like when she draws women with hair and like body hair, and she's just sees them for what they are, which is kind of like the idea of how one need not keep glossing over one's flaws.
Pooja, you, like you said, have been an actor now for 30 years, and you've been a producer, you've been a director, you've done production design. Tell me, your first film, Daddy, was 1989, and it's 2001, and here you are, leading lady. What is, in these 30 years, the film industry has undergone many, many changes. Tell me, what's the one that is most heartening for you as a woman, as an artist, when you see a show like this come together? What does it tell you?
Well, I mean, I was just telling somebody, I said, ironically, I said my launch came from television. At that time, not considered the most conventional launch. I mean, a lot of people told my father that, why are you trying to destroy your daughter's career by launching her on TV? And Daddy still remains a movie that will be mentioned in my obituary, and I get in 2021 a body of work which I think that all of us will have mentioned in our obituary. So I think life is very kind. And I think, like Shana said earlier, for me as well, I think that I stopped acting because my heart was not in it at that point. And I was very privileged to have gotten Daddy and then Dil Hai Ke Manta Nahi. And Sadak was a commercial film that I did, but I didn't enjoy as much as I enjoyed doing Daddy, and doing Dil Hai Ke Manta Nahi, and probably doing Zakham for me was the ultimate. And then strangely, Rahul Bose directed me last, and everybody says I'm fine. And here he plays my lover. So life has come full circle for us as well. But after that, I mean, I just felt that I didn't have to be part of a film because I'm expected to. And I mean, I tasted blood with Tamanna, and I kind of produced Tamanna and then Dushman. And, I enjoyed understanding and learning that aspect of filmmaking. So for me also, when I was offered Bombay Begums, I was quite taken aback that somebody even considered me to be worthy to play a role of this magnitude. And I realized then that eventually there is no alternate to a lived life. So I think that when Alankrita tells you that a combination of strength and vulnerability, you're not born strong. You're not born vulnerable. I mean, empathy does not just happen to you, for example. It takes work. So I think it's the falls that I've taken, it's the hiatus, it's the going away to discover what I really wanted, of making my mistakes, of falling hard, picking myself up, bleeding profusely, being written off, being celebrated. All of that combines to kind of make you who you are. And when a director, a writer somehow recognizes that and is able to take that life experience and harness it and use it in this manner, I mean, it's you can't ask for more. Because I think that the relief of playing Rani and being on a set was, besides not having to worry about whether we should break for lunch or not, and whether somebody's having a meltdown of their own, it was just wonderful to take instruction and to know that after having understood different aspects of filmmaking, one was still able to come to class as a newcomer in that sense, without any preconceived notions, with a great deal of anxiety about, will I be able to pull this off? For me, it was not a given that I'm going to come in and contribute something in that sense. I mean, I was surrounded by women like this. I mean, with people who I knew were brilliant. And I had a lot to live up to because I didn't want to let any of them down. I didn't want to let the people who'd chosen me down in terms of I had to live up to the faith and the trust that they had in me, perhaps more than I had in myself. So for me, it was nice to know that I still had that capacity to be able to feel like it's my first step. And, yes, rely on your life experiences to be able to pull out and kind of an emotion and kind of, as we say, now, Alankita, you want me to take that, pitchfork and just go and just bleed all over the table for you? And she's like, yes. Besides that, I think that my strength is knowing that I don't know and constantly be willing to kind of rewrite my own kind of narrative and start from scratch. So I think that life gave me that privilege. And I think that this is a body of work. Like I told somebody earlier, I said, as I said, originality is difficult. I mean, creativity is easy. Originality is difficult, but relevance is a bitch. And I think to be relevant for an actor, for an entertainer, you can't just rest on your past laurels.
Yeah.
There's a section of the audience that's going to love what you've done and they've grown up to that. But there's this large section that wasn't even born then. The audience has changed since 1989. And if one is still relevant, it's because somewhere the person has been able to grow beyond that persona or that screen image. So I think that because I was true to myself and to the woman that I was and wasn't, more often than not, I think it took another woman to pick that up and to be able to harness that. So this gratitude, truly.
Well, nicely done, Alankrita. It's so nice to see all of you. Thank you so much, and all best for Bombay Begums.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.